Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, we are downtown Tulsa, beautiful One Oak Field, with a very special guest, right-handed reliever in the Dodgers organization, Trevor Bettencourt joins. Trevor, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
We have an awesome story to unwind here, but going to start in 2016, and I think you know where I'm going here. I see that big smile on your face. Okay, going to take you back to the Super Regional Final. You're at Louisville, one of the best teams in the country. You get the call from Coach Checketts. You're in the bullpen. You have 2 runners on, the game on the line, bottom of the 8th inning. You get the call to come in. Take us back to that to go to Omaha.
It was hot. It was hot out there, a lot of turf, but, our team, we were just so confident for good reasons, A lot of guys were grinding up to that point, not a ton of big prospects, and we all just had each other's backs and just kind of playing so hard, and so everyone was just next guy in, get it done, and I was the same guy I was then that I am now. Is like, hey, come in and throw some curveballs, man. I was like, all right, got out of that. It was a fly out to center field or something like that, and then next inning came out, and I think got 1 out, and they came and pulled me, and I was like, all right. And he was like, we don't, just in case for tomorrow. And I remember looking at Harvey, our pitching coach at the time, and I was like, we're not going to need it, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of like jokingly, but like, I'm not going to need it for tomorrow. Next thing you know, next inning around, comes out, bases loaded, birdie's up. I don't know if sorry if I'm cutting you off.
Oh, no, not at all.
But, we ended up stringing some hits together, and birdie's out there, and he was an absolute animal, dude. That guy on the mound.
Still is.
Oh, yeah. It was just the presence he had at that time was like, that's Zach Birdie.
Yeah.
So it was fun watching him hit or pitch, but Sam Cohen comes up, and next thing you know, I don't remember what the count was. I know he had 2 strikes.
2-1.
Yeah. Just getting blown with fastballs, hitting them straight across the dugout. Guy throws a changeup down and in, off the bat, home run. And like every guy was great because every guy in the dugout did not move that entire at bat because we were just base hit, getting guys on. So like the turf, it was like this dugout, so it was all black. So it was just getting hot. Everybody's feet was just burning. And we're like, can't move. Like, off the bat, we just took off. That was awesome. Actually, like you said, I got to play with Birdie this year a little bit.
Yeah.
So we got to joke about it a little bit, and so it was fun.
Yeah, Zach Birdie is a right-handed relief pitcher, 96, 97 for AAA Oklahoma City. So when you went up there for a little bit, you got to pitch with him. And also, what was it like getting to pitch with such a great staff? Coach Checketts obviously is awesome, but Shane Bieber was on that staff there at UCSB. Talk about that.
Yeah, that guy's, talk about a real underdog out of high school, really, they got away with something with him for, he should have been a full ride to somewhere big, but he was big for us. He was, I think, the Sunday guy is like freshman year, then Sunday guy again sophomore year, then immediately Friday is junior year, and he was lights out. You saw him against Oklahoma State. Yeah. He was just, he can hit a grain of rice off a beer bottle. Yeah. That's how he is. That's how he always has been, and since he's gotten to the league, he's added some more pitches, and he's disgusting. He's a real good buddy of mine. He's awesome.
I know that you were super close with your college coach. He meant a lot to you. You cared a lot from what he taught you. So talk about Coach Checketts back at UCSB.
Transferring schools after having Tommy John, I'm still recovering, So he gave me another shot and helped me out, and it's not like I was the easiest to deal with. I was young and stuff like that. And so he gave me all the chances in the world to really push me. And without Checketts, I wouldn't be playing right now. And so, whether I'm playing and playing well, he's taught me a lot in baseball, and he helped me out a ton. So it was awesome.
Got you warmed up now, so I'm going to throw some fastballs at you right now. Grew up in the Bay Area. Still a Giants fan? I knew you grew up a Giants fan.
For where I'm at, I'm going to go ahead and just plead the fifth on that. I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy my moment right now. Just be with the old Drillers.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, let's back you up to your high school days. Coach Mike Oakland, who, by the way, you might want to talk back into going into baseball because, he went into the softball ranks about 5 or 6 years ago. Legendary coach there, has won 6 or 7 different titles at St. Francis. You got to play for him. And you got to play water polo, so talk about that whole experience.
Playing for Oakland was awesome. He came from Santa Clara, and so it was actually something I remember my dad saying when I was younger, and for some reason it was one of those things that stuck with me, but like our practices were like college practices, the way they were written out and played out and everything. It was awesome. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him just on, baseball IQ stuff. And then, I mean, water polo, dude. I say it all the time, man. If football was a hard sport, they'd call it water polo. And I will stick by that. But yeah, that was brutal. I played my freshman and sophomore year, and I took junior year off to just focus on baseball. And I was like, I miss it, you know. And it got me into such good shape. It was, dude, these guys are swimming around. Everyone's shredded, and I'm just like, all right, I'll catch up to you. I'll get there. But I mean, I could swim better than I could run at that time, so it was good. Throw a little water polo ball, and I had fun. I made a lot of good friends, and yeah, I wouldn't change that. I miss it still sometimes.
29 years old, could you still play some water polo, you think?
I could tread a little bit. I don't know if the knees got it in me as much anymore. But yeah, no, I mean, there's no way I could keep up with some of those guys, but I could still get up a little bit and throw some balls.
Fantastic. All right, 25th round, 2016, Philadelphia Phillies. I know you loved your time with them. It came to an end this last offseason. You were with them for 7 years. So talk about your wonderful time with the Phillies.
Oh, man. And, you know, I was lucky enough to get drafted in the first place. And I went there and 16 only threw like a couple innings. And then 17 came around and I had a really good year. They helped me out a lot. We made some like little tweaks and changes and things started to click. And then the following year is when I started getting hurt a little bit every year. But I mean, it was like 2 months in 18, and then 19, I had to get another Tommy John, and then 20 came around. 21, ended up having to get another surgery, and then finally got to play in 22, and it was just, yeah, I appreciate everything they ever did for me, just from top to bottom. You know, I think a lot of places would have probably let me go, and they gave me the time and opportunity to really find out. And yeah, I owe those people a lot. I really appreciate what they did, and I made a lot of good lifetime friends. And you know, even the staff there, I considered some friends, and it was awesome, man. Yeah.
So I think I already know the answer to this, but why the Dodgers free agency over the offseason?
You know, I think it was a good fit, and you know, luckily I actually ended up Kevin Gowdy signed I think a week before I signed. Yeah. So it was pretty cool to find that out, but you know, as you know, free agency goes sometimes you only have so many options, you know. And so luckily my option was the Dodgers. Yeah. It was pretty cool. I've already learned so much, and you know, I'm 29, and at this point I'm just trying to see how good I can possibly get before the window closes, and I think this is the exact place I need to be for sure.
Make them rip the jersey off your back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, hey, I wanted to start out with this, but I forgot. I wanted to back up a little bit. Obviously, you knew Nick Robertson and Justin Hageman. You got to pitch with them at Oklahoma City, but not quite as much. I know you were really close with Jordan Leisure, Nick Nastrini, who just got traded away. Can you talk about those two a little bit?
Oh, man. I mean, first, Nick Robertson and Hags, when I went up there immediately, I got to hang out with Hags in the JIT camp this year. He was a great guy. Yeah. He was awesome, and what a hell of a year he's having.
No kidding. He's good, isn't he?
Oh, my God. The guy knows how to get outs. Yeah. That's the whole point of baseball, right?
Yeah.
But man, they both, if I had any questions, even if I didn't have any questions, they would always be like, hey man, like this is the timing of this, and this is a little different here, can we do this? And they were awesome. Yeah, Jordan Leisure was one of the first guys I really hung out with when I got to Dodger camp. And yeah, I lived in one place with Bryson Brigman, and then when he went up to trips, I moved in with Leisure. And so we actually have a little pet dog. Her name's Bagel, and she fell in love with him. Yeah, we call him his man all the time. It was hilarious. But like if you're gone for a bit, if I don't see her for a few days and see her again, she'll whimper. He's the only other person that she does that to. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's so big for those guys, you know, Pumpkin, Nastrini, and Leisure, but you know, we miss them. Yeah, Kevin and I were literally on FaceTime last night with Jordan. So we miss them, but it's huge for them. You know, they learn so much here, and they're nasty. That's just plain simple. They're nasty, and I hope they have some good opportunities there, which I think they're going to get.
Obviously, the goal for everybody in the Dodgers organization is to make the major leagues with the Dodgers club, but you guys know that every time you take the field, you're auditioning for all 30 teams in the major leagues. It's just how it is when you're a minor leaguer. So, hey, got to know, Stash Game, it's become very famous around the Dodgers organization. It's grown a life of its own. So how did that all play out?
So my first spring trip, well, I had it in college a little bit, but it wasn't nearly anything like this. But had it my first spring training in 17, and I was pitching well, and I just kind of left it, and the second spring training was over, I shaved it. So I was like, all right, fresh start for the season, and every coach got mad at me. Everybody got mad.
Like, dude, why?
Oh, yeah. There was actually one coach, Sean Williams, was like, hey, who's that guy over there? And I had another pitching coach like, that's Bettencourt. Like, you know him. He goes, what the hell is he doing? Well, that was
I don't even know who that guy is.
Ever since then, I was like, all right, fine. Like, I won't shave it. I'll leave it. Like, I legitimately got in trouble, but like, yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll leave it. It's fine. Ever since then, it's just one of those things. If I clean shaved, actually, last time I clean shaved, my fiance got mad. She was like, let's leave some hair on there. I was like, all right, that's fine with me. Makes it easier.
Yeah. Just so you know, the first time you pitched this year, you know, Kenneth Bettencourt, there's another Bettencourt.
Yeah.
He pitched last year and threw the eephus pitch. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
First time he pitched, I was like, oh, Kenneth Bettencourt's pitching again. And I found out it was Trevor Bettencourt, so pretty excited about that. Hey, love the shirt. That's a noodler shirt right there, kind of a Hawaiian look. Got to ask you, have you ever been noodling?
No, I haven't. We were joking about hopping up there in the little trailer to noodle, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Also, hey, I didn't ask you this before, but, you know, Birdie being the pitcher for Louisville, talk any smack to him? You guys have any smack game going on?
Yeah, we were in El Paso, and I think we were talking about, it was some smaller team, ended up taking down one of the Goliaths, and I was like, man, I gotta be honest, guys, I like those teams, the small teams that take down the big teams, and I think it might have been Keegan.
Did he catch on?
Well, Keegan was like, weren't you on one of those teams? I was like, yeah, it was, man. It was a good time. Yeah, we got pretty lucky, you know? And he goes, who was on the other side? And Birdie was walking by, and I think he was just eating something. And goes, yeah, that was me. That was me on the mound. And I was like, yeah, it was.
Oh, that is so awesome.
He's great, dude. He's a great sport about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a memory we'll always have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, the big curveball, the good fastball. Take us through your stuff where it's at right now.
Four seam, that's just going to cut. That's just the way it is.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it just happened. So I got the cutter, curveball I've had my whole life.
Thanks big time, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's kept me in the game. It's gotten me drafted pretty much. And you know, it's one of those things I think I've thrown since I was 14. We've added a slider, and then we're working on like an actual sinker now, and so it's always a work in progress.
Yep.
So
give you a little bit of right turn with that sinker, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so 29 years old, you've had just about every experience: IL stints, surgeries, you know, free agency, all of that. The college experience. So, what things do you think you're good enough at right now to be a consistent major leaguer?
Making the ball go left, pretty much. Right. Making the ball go left, and for the most part, everything that does is decently hard, and just, you know, so I'm fortunate with that ability, but I like to think, I like to kind of just go at guys. This is my best I guess, feature, that, and just trying to be present, you know. I love big moments, you know. I'm not going to be in all of them all the time. I'm not exactly a closer type, but you know, I just want the team to win in whatever position it's going to be, whether it's base loaded, nobody on, whatever you want. Like I'll do my best. The more wins you get, the more fun you have, and I just want to have some fun.
If I were to ask you the number one thing you need to work on the most, what would it be?
Probably a sinker.
Yeah.
Probably anything
the right
that goes
turn
to the
going.
right. Yeah. Pretty much that, and just competitive strikes, I guess. You know, I always work on those.
All right, message for kids. Everybody wants to, you know, you have the great message, you have all the experience. Everybody wants to be a professional baseball player when you start back in T-ball. What is your message for those kids that want to be like you?
Do what you can to find out.
Yeah.
You know, not many people get the opportunities, and everyone's route is so different. You know, we have Blarski, who was in indie ball for 2 years. I was on the IL for 3 years straight, and I was debating whether I was going to keep playing. You know, everyone has a different route, and we're both still here. We're on the same team. Just, if you're going to do it and find out. You know, you only got one life, and you don't want to be 40 years old and be like, you know, I had this chance. I wonder if I would have did whatever this is to make it better, have a better opportunity, so that, you know, when you're older and have a family, you can put your head on the pillow and be like, I went for it.
Yeah, want to give a shout out to Henny?
Henny. Yeah, that was one of my favorite managers I ever played for.
Yeah.
Man. Win or loss, he's always trying to keep the boys up, trying to get us onto the next page, and he's never been one to just dwell on anything. You know, we've had some bad skids this year. You know, we all know it. He's always been like, all right, boys, come on, let's go. So yeah, you know, when I went to OKC, he said some great stuff to me. I appreciated it. Even when I came down, he still patted my back and everything. He's one of my favorite managers I ever played for, and you know, I think one of the biggest compliments you can get is having players run through a brick wall for you, and I think just about everyone in that locker room.
Absolutely. Hey, Trevor, I've taken up an exorbitant amount of your time here, way too much, but I've enjoyed this so much because I just love your story, and so I wanted to make sure and take time and back up and be able to tell the story. We were going to do this on Zoom, but never quite got around to it, so we did it here. So I took a lot of your time, so thank you so much.
No worries. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.